Hi guys, it's Carol. How you guys doing? Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do something really different. Actually, it's not that different. It's a challenge, but it's a different one. It's called Try Not to Get Scared Challenge. Pizza. I'm hungry now. That's scary. Oh, what is this? That's good.
I was out doing a delivery one late night. It was probably the longest drive I have ever taken for a pizza delivery. From the pizza place I worked at,
It's
there was
me,
a 20-minute
Mario!
drive, which isn't too crazy out where I live. Plus, they ordered 4 large pies, so I figured it was a party and I would get a much bigger tip. Navigating the dirt roads at night was always annoying, though. I pulled up to the given address. It was some old, sketchy-looking building, literally in the middle of a forest clearing. There were no cars parked anywhere, or any lights on. I put my car in park and called my boss. I asked him to reread the address at least 3 times to make sure I typed it in right, but that checked out. I could tell he was in a really bitchy mood, and he told me to at least knock on the door and check it out. He would normally get mad if we took back 1 pie, but I was afraid of what he would do if I brought back 4. I was insanely unnerved, but got out anyway and forced myself to the front door of the building. There was no doorbell, so I just knocked really hard.
Oh.
I heard nothing and didn't really expect to hear anything. I was extremely disappointed, not because nobody answered the door, but because I was realizing that it was all a waste of time.
And pizza's getting cold. That's the most important thing. Pizza's getting cold.
And then began to hear some kind of rustling noises from inside of the building.
I hear footsteps.
I knocked again and yelled that I was the pizza guy. There was silence now. I felt a bit more uncomfortable now than before. But before I could turn around, I noticed something at the window. There was someone looking through the window.
That's a shadow. Oh God.
I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. All I noticed were their eyes. Their eyes were open wider than I knew possible.
That would be me,
staring
looking at pizza guy because pizza's getting cold. Pizza.
I was disturbed enough by this and dropped the pizzas and
no,
ran back to
you
my car.
didn't.
The shitty thing wouldn't start until turning the key for the 3rd time. I drove off the grass and back onto the dirt road, but I felt the car rocking about, shaking and bumping. Something wasn't right. I didn't make it far from the building before I started hearing a sharp scraping sound coming from outside. There was so much resistance that I couldn't even drive. The car came to a stop. I got out of the car to check what the hell was wrong. A chill ran up my spine as I began to feel like my heart was constantly skipping beats. My tires had been slashed and had completely fallen off the rim. Not just the front though. All 4 tires were slashed. I realized somebody did this when I was knocking on the door to that building.
I didn't see anybody behind you,
Instead of running, I got back in the car and locked the doors. I was so close to that building, I could practically see it from where I was, if it weren't for the trees blocking the view.
Stupid trees!
I dialed 911 and explained everything to the operator. She told me the cops would be over as soon as possible and that I need to stay hidden. I asked her if it was advisable to stay in the car or run, and she told me it would be best to stay in the car with the door locked.
Yeah.
She asked me to stay on the line with her until the cops arrived.
Don't shake, it's okay.
My whole body was shaking.
No, it's fine.
In all directions,
don't worry.
There was nothing but dark, seemingly endless forest. I knew it would take forever for the cops
every single
to get there.
time. It works, trust me.
I was not comfortable with sitting in that car so close to whoever did this. The next part, though, is what utterly destroyed me. It still shakes me to this day, and I hope nobody ever has to experience this kind of fear. As I was scanning all the windows, making sure nobody was outside, I looked in the rearview mirror, and there was the same person. The same person I saw at that window.
Maybe just want to pay you back, you know? Because you dropped pizza, but you left them. They just want to give you money.
And I could ever so slightly see a smile
she really
begin to
needs
spread across her face. I opened my door and full-on sprinted into the woods.
That's how you run.
I ran until I was out of breath, which didn't take long, and I hid behind a giant log on the ground. I tried to cover my loud breathing with my hand as I waited and waited for what felt like hours until I finally heard sirens in the distance. I gathered up all the stamina I had left to run all the way back in the direction of the dirt road. Eventually, the glowing red and blue lights came into view, and I had never felt better in my life. They were parked in front of my car, investigating with flashlights. I came out yelling at them like a lunatic to help me.
In front of your car.
I fell to the floor and started to gag, almost throwing up from running so much. They picked me up and began to question me, to which I explained everything to the best of my ability. One of the two cars drove over to the building, and the two officers began to search the building. They came back with nothing except for a couple of spiky objects. These objects were exactly the same as the ones used to slash my tires.
Where is pizza?
The cops guessed that it was some kind of sick, demented couple, being that I saw the woman, but unfortunately they were never found. And that still kills me to this day. I obviously quit my job right after that and started working at a local grocery store. I know that I'll never forget seeing that woman at the back of my car.
What about pizza? Hey. Oh, there's more than one story?
I recently moved out, and I already have a horror story to tell.
It lasts like 55,
the house I moved into
56
isn't
minutes.
Impressive. It's just a house that's appropriate for one or two
Alright, we're gonna
people.
do this story and
But I'd say right
then
away,
it's done, okay?
I started hearing weird sounds coming
I
from
don't want the
inside
video
the
to be too
walls.
long.
I first heard it in the kitchen, and then in the bathroom. But on night 3, I started hearing it in my bedroom. I was sure there was some kind of animal living in my walls.
No, it's pizza.
I just had to figure out how to get rid of it. The next morning, I didn't even have enough milk to fill the bowl of cereal. I couldn't believe I hadn't realized I needed more milk. In fact, I seemed to be eating up all of my food pretty fast.
What about pizza? I'm sorry, I'm too obsessed with pizza.
To the sound of breathing. Not my breathing.
Pizza's breathing.
It sounded just like the breathing of a person. I flipped the lamp on, and it stopped. I chalked it up as my mind playing tricks on me after waking up. The next day was really hot, so I turned on the AC for the first time. I checked every single vent, and some of them weren't blowing any air, one of them being the vent right next to my bed. I peered through the vent with a flashlight. There wasn't even a duct behind the vent. It was just the inside of the wall. It seemed that whatever air duct was in there had been removed. Unfortunately, I didn't look into the air conditioning system while buying the house, so I didn't know about this. That night, I had to sleep in the heat with no AC, so I was up pretty late constantly rolling around and flipping the pillow over.
That's relatable.
Then I eventually started to hear the breathing again, but this time I was fully awake. I knew it was real this time. It was coming to my left. I looked to my left at the air vents. The sound was surely coming from in there.
Pizza.
I grabbed the flashlight again and shined it in through the vent. I dropped it and screamed. There was someone's face peering through the cracks of the vents. The first thing I saw were their eyes, open wide and glowing. I screamed all the way down and out the house. I soon found out there was a crazy, dangerous homeless man living in my walls, and he had been eating my food ever since I moved in.
Pizza. Oh, well, he's hungry. That's alright. Don't eat pizza though. Alright, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This story is actually pretty good, and I love the animation. Good job. What's the channel? Llama Arts. I'm gonna put the link down below in the description because he's really good. I love his work. Actually, I'm gonna subscribe. Done! Subscribed. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a little thumbs up and subscribe for more. Let me know down below in the comments what do you think about these kind of videos, if we should watch more horror stories by this llama. And yeah, have a great day and take care. Bye!